Welcome everybody, thanks for coming. So you're sitting in my kitchen. I've never had an audience like this before in my kitchen. But I just thought I'd give you a quick rundown as to how this house flooded and why building a flood resilient kitchen is so important. We've created a kitchen that will be able to be washed out and it won't be thrown out.
After the floods, we were trying to find a way to build kitchens a bit differently than what we used to do, because we usually use standard materials, and it's very rare we get to use this type of materials. So one very important thing as well with this design is that the benchtop is totally independent from the cabinetry. So the benchtop is not sitting on the cabinets. The benchtop is sitting on a steel structure that we've custom made ourselves in our workshop. We've decided to work into two different sections. Everything that sits under the benchtop and above the benchtop. We've realized that it's very unlikely that water is going to come to reach above benchtop height here. At least we really hope that it's not going to.
So this is a brick veneer home, slab on ground, it can't be lifted. When the flood happened, all the doors were shut and the water was just trickling in the doors, but all of a sudden, because the water built up outside, because a fence was blocking it, the water then started to push through the walls, through the cabinets onto the floor.
Each cabinet is completely independent from one another, and the benchtop is completely independent from the rest of the structures, meaning that if one day it floods again, we have the possibility to take the cabinets out one by one without damaging the benchtop, without damaging anything that's sitting above, so that oven tower can stay sitting perfectly safely on top of the benchtop, even if everything underneath is removed, because it sits on a solid steel structure. So all the bottom part have been manufactured out of waterproof and weatherproof materials, which are made for alfresco cabinetry, which is like outside cabinetry, and everything that's above the benchtop is made out of traditional materials. So this is called Tilex from a brand called EGR. It's not a wood product, so it's not going to be affected by water because it's a polymer. It's a composite material. Another type of material we decide to use for all the fronts, it's called Tricoya. It's an MDF which is like completely waterproof. From outside it really looks like a normal board. As you can see, like there's no wood here. It's a bit soft in there, but the plastic, the ABS material on top makes it very rigid and very sturdy. So it's not a timber product. Yeah.
And would mould grow on this material, given the right conditions?
Mold would probably grow on top, because mold grows on every material. I guess I'm not a mold specialist, but I guess it grows on everything. It's just not going to grow inside.
It's not going to penetrate.
It's just going to be a surface. So my business partner is a metal worker, so he's actually I've designed this project with him to make it more efficient and very easy to assemble. So every part is made in-house by my business partner Toba. Yeah. Above the benchtop, it's literally like standard material. So everything is moisture resistant or highly moisture resistant, which is anywhere like just the standard materials we have to use in traditional cabinetry. So all the fronts, everything is two-pack painted. All the fronts are made out of MDF, moisture resistant, and all the carcasses are made out of highly moisture resistant particle board, 16 millimeters. It's made out of waterproof materials, weatherproof materials. Each boxes can be removed from the structure. So I removed one just before. It's just to avoid also like retaining any mud or any water, because when the water washes off, it takes a bit of mud with it. If you put something that blocks, then the mud stays. The water goes, the mud stays. These boxes, they are just fixed onto the structure by 2 screws on the bottom and 2 screws at the back. So it's 4 screws to remove per boxes, and you can take it out. Like it really looks like a traditional box. It doesn't look like anything fancy or anything. And you've got a steel crossbar as well that maintains the spacing. And once the boxes are in place, like these legs are completely sturdy and stable. The legs are stainless steel. They are made for like commercial kitchen grade. And we've just welded the bottom. There's a bottom plate we've welded on the bottom with a thread to be able to screw this in. And this is made out of stainless steel, so the thread can't rust. Because if we do it out of steel, rust can build in the thread.
Would you need to unscrew all the runners and stuff to clean them properly? Yeah.
I would definitely, yes, just to avoid like any mud behind the drawer plate there and stuff. But like, it's very easy to remove and put back on. And there is a lot of holes, so even if a screw fails, you can just put a screw in another hole. There's literally like we use like 1, 2, 3, 4 holes.
Yeah.
You've got another 10 available.
And do you feel that if this room flooded again and the drawer mechanisms were covered in mud, that you could actually wash them off?
Yeah, so we've just finished our renovation of our own kitchenette / meeting room office, and we've used this type of runners in our own kitchenette, and so all our bottom drawers were gone, like all our cupboard, like traditional cabinetry, traditional materials, and we pull everything out. Like we just remove all the drawers, pull everything apart. The bottoms, the backs, they were made out of particle board, so they were damaged. But the runners, they were a bit muddy. We rinsed them. There was, I think, there's like 1 or 2 rivets which like they got a bit rusty. There's like 1 or 2 dots of rust. I just washed them, dried them in the sun, and store them in my storeroom, and we're reusing them.